So that wasn't an answer to my question. The answer to my question would necessitate a date or a year. So the question is, in what year will you balance the budget?
Like I said, I'm afraid you just don't like the answer, so you might want to change the question.
No, you're a minister. You're here to answer questions. No, you know, your parliamentary immunity allows you to do this. A regular witness this would actually be contempt of Parliament.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's a fact.
Well, I'm a lawyer, so
Witnesses
that's your
have to answer
opinion.
questions. So it goes to credibility, and Canadians are watching, and they want to have confidence in their officials. But by refusing to answer questions, and by refusing to adhere to fiscal anchors and fiscal guardrails that you set for yourself and perpetually change, that erodes confidence in officials. Because Minister, you've had a lot of time, I think, to prepare for this meeting. There's a question that I have asked you repeatedly at Committee of the Whole, at your budget appearance here. It's a question that you never answer. I'm hoping that you've been well briefed, maybe consulted your officials, and that today is the day that you will answer the question and tell Canadians in what year you will balance the budget.
It's like you don't like my answers. It's not that it's the question that's wrong. You just don't like the answer. That's why I say I think Canadians at home watching understand we are in unprecedented time. And as the International Monetary Fund said, you need to use that fiscal capacity to build in this country, protect our nation and empower Canadians.
So that wasn't an answer to my question. The answer to my question would necessitate a date or a year. So the question is, in what year will you balance the budget?
Like I said, I'm afraid you just don't like the answer, so you might want to change the question.
No, you're a minister. You're here to answer questions. I've asked a question and you're not answering it. You must have an answer. Your department is full of officials that go through all kinds of modeling and projecting. Your budget contains projections, but it doesn't go far enough out to maybe get to the year where the budget will be balanced. So what year do your department officials tell you the budget will be balanced?
Well, let me put that in context, and you might not like the answer anyway. But we live in probably the most uncertain time in the world. And that's why when you see in G7 countries, the reality now is that those who have the fiscal capacity are building their country, protecting their sovereignty, empowering their people. That's the best way for Canadians to grow our economy.
Okay, so since you aren't answering it, you're giving a response that isn't an answer. Am I to infer from that that there is no possibility under your government of ever balancing the budget?
Like I said, I refer to you. You can look at the fiscal framework. It's in the budget. We're living in very uncertain time, and I'm a responsible finance minister.
Okay.
And when you're responsible, you base your answer on facts. You base your answer on the reality of the moment.
Would a responsible finance minister answer a basic financial question?
Like I said, you've been asking the same questions, and you still don't like the answer.
No, you have never answered my question.
Well, it's that you don't like. Change the question, and you may like the answer.
No, you know, your parliamentary immunity allows you to do this. A regular witness this would actually be contempt of Parliament.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's a fact.
Well, I'm a lawyer,
Witnesses
so that's your
have to
opinion.
answer questions.
Well, like I said, I'm providing an answer. You just don't like it. But Canadians understand. You can play that game all along, but that's okay with me. I'm a lawyer. That's fine. Ask the question again.
What year will you balance the budget?
I'll say to you again, we live in the most uncertain time, and this is a time where you need to be fiscally prudent, use your fiscal capacity to invest in Canada.
On fiscal prudence, you have made commitments in the past about what the deficit would be. You had promised in the election, I believe that you promised it wouldn't exceed its present level. It has doubled. Your budget deficit that you tabled was double the last budget's deficit. Will next year be lower or higher than this year? Will you meet your projection? Can you give us anything?
Have you seen what happened in the last few months?
Yes, but I've been here for 10 years where every single finance, including all of your predecessors, have come here to this committee and made commitments that they never fulfill. Because it means that Canadians don't know whether they can trust your words.
I would say
so
that's
you give Canadians a plain answer about whether or not there is any plan to ever balance the budget.
That's your personal opinion. I'd use humility, because if you look at the rating agencies and others and economists of the country, they understand where we're going. And even former Prime Minister Harper, which you should listen to, on certain
Mr. Harper balanced the budget.
Used the fiscal capacity at the time of crisis to protect Canada.
Thank
That's
you,
what
Minister.
I'm doing.